بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى خصوصا على سيد الرسل وخاتم الأنبياء وعلى آله الأزكياء وأصحابه الأتقياء أما بعد. There was a prominent Abbasi Khalifa by the name of Harun al-Rashid. After becoming Khalifa, he performed Hajj. And it was while he was performing Hajj that he called one of his wazirs and he said to him, one of his advisors, and he said to him, I'm feeling a little heavy in my chest. There's something that's bothering me. قَدْ حَكَّ فِي نَفْسِي شَيْءٍ. Something has me unsettled. فَانظُرْ لِي مِنْ أَهْلِ الْفَضْلِ أَسْتَفْسِرُهُ. See if there are some people of virtue, people of seniority in Makkah Mukarramah that I can speak to about the state of my heart. I'm not feeling too well. So they called Sufyan bin Uyayna, rahimahullah ta'ala, a prominent scholar. Sufyan bin Uyayna had a conversation with Harun al-Rashid. Harun al-Rashid, after speaking to him out of respect, he said to Sufyan bin Uyayna, is there any debt that you have? Anyone that you owe any money to? He said, yes. So Harun al-Rashid then told his vizier, wipe out all of his debts, take care of all of it. And he said, may Allah reward you for coming, and sent him off. Harun al-Rashid then said to the wazir, مَا أَغْنَى عَنِّي صَاحِبُكَ شَيْئًا. The truth is, Sufyan bin Uyayna did not solve what I was feeling. I'm still uncomfortable. See if you can find someone else. So he began to ask around, and he was told regarding a person in Makkah Mukarramah who went by the name of Fudail bin Iyadh, Abid al-Haramain. There is this person by the name of Fudail bin Iyadh who was known as Abid al-Haramain, the worshipper of the two sacred cities. They say regarding this man, and maybe one night we'll cover his story in some detail, it's a fascinating story. In the early part of his life, he was actually a robber. He was someone that would steal from people. He was a thief. And then he had a moment of tawbah. And after doing tawbah, he then relocated to Haram. And there was not a place in Haram, Makkah or Medina, but they say this man had done sajda there and he had cried there. So among the people of Haram, a city that is known for ibadah, he was given the title Abid al-Haramain, the man who worshipped so much. So they called Fudail bin Iyadh. Fudail bin Iyadh, rahimahullah ta'ala, he came in front of the Amir al-Mu'mineen, Harun al-Rashid. Harun al-Rashid, just to create some context, was a very strong Khalifa. He was one that the world was terrified of. Even those who were his enemies and had any intention of rebellion against him, they knew that if Harun al-Rashid was angry with you, you were done. They say that one of the shortest letters ever written in history was by Harun al-Rashid. He sent one of his zakat collectors to go and collect zakat. Unfortunately, there was one community that wasn't in the mood of paying zakat, so they said to the zakat collector, get out of here, we're not giving our zakat to you. That zakat collector came back to Harun al-Rashid and said to him, they're refusing to give zakat. So Harun al-Rashid said, okay, take my response. He wrote a response. Go to the community, gather everyone in the city together, and read the letter once and do not repeat it. You're going to read the letter one time and you won't repeat it. After that, that's it. So he gathered everyone together. Everyone was around him. He then opened the letter and said, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. From Amir al-Mu'mineen Harun al-Rashid to the people who refuse to give zakat. Al-jawabu ma tara ma la tasma'. You will see my answer, not hear it. Assalamu alaikum. I'm not going to tell you what my response is. You're going to see my response. The soldiers are on the way. You guys will find out what your outcome will be for refusing to give zakat to Amir al-Mu'mineen. Everyone gave their zakat right away. So this Harun al-Rashid is now sitting in front of Fudail bin Iyadh. Fudail bin Iyadh, he then gives him advice. And the first thing he says is, before you there was a Khalifa by the name of Umar bin Abdul Aziz. When he was made Khalifa, Umar bin Abdul Aziz did something similar. He invited scholars. There were three scholars specifically that he invited: Salim bin Abdullah, Muhammad ibn Ka'b, and Raja bin Hayat. These three people. So when Salim came, Salim's advice to Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he called them and he said to them, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said to these three people, إِنِّي قَدْ أُبْتُلِيتُ بِهَذَا الْبَلَاءِ فَأَشِيرُ عَلَيَّ. I have been given this big responsibility of khilafah and I manage the affairs of the people now. Give me some advice on how I can be a good ruler. So Salim gave his advice first. إِنْ أَرَدْتَ النَّجَاةِ فَصُمْ الدُّنْيَا وَلْيَكُنْ إِفْطَارُكَ مِنْهَا الْمَوْتِ. My advice to you is, fast from this world. Do not engage in any of the pleasures of it. And let the iftar of your fast be the day you die. You will find all of your luxuries in the hereafter. Do not live in luxury in this dunya. The second person, Ibn Ka'ab, he said, إن أردت النجاة من عذاب الله فليكن كبير المسلمين عندك أبا وأوسطهم أخا وأصغرهم ولدا. If you want to be successful as a Khalifa, you will look at every person with a white beard as a father. Every person that is middle age, you will view them as a brother. Everyone that you see that is young, you will view them as a child. فَوَقِّرْ أَبَاكَ. Now honor your father. وَأَكْرِمْ أَخَاكَ. Be respectful and kind to your brother. وَتَحَنَّنْ عَلَى وَلَدِكَ. And be compassionate and loving to your children. Treat the Muslims like your own family. This is how you will be a good leader. And this is important for us all who are in leadership positions, whether it's in a masjid, an organization, at work or school. Look at the people around you as family. This is how compassion will come into place. And then Raja, when he spoke, he said to him, if you wish to be successful and protect yourself from the punishment of Allah, then love for the believers what you love for yourself. Be kind and loving. A very similar advice. When he gave this advice, when he shared this story with Harun al-Rashid was crying. He was in tears. فَبَكَى بُكَاءً شَدِيدًا. And he just started crying and crying and crying. Finally, Fudail bin Iyadh then gave him some genuine personal advice. He said to him, Ya Hasan al-Wajh, oh the one with this amazing, beautiful face. أنت الذي يسألك الله عن هذا الخلق يوم القيامة. You are the one that Allah will ask about the ummah on the day of judgment. He's not going to ask me. Allah's not going to ask me about the ummah. He's going to ask you. Each person will be asked regarding their flock. You have a beautiful face. And in one narration, he touched his face and said it again. You have the most beautiful face I have ever seen. Make sure your face doesn't get scarred and stained on the day of judgment by the flames of the fire of hell. Harun al-Rashid started crying. فَبَكَى بُكَاءً شَدِيدًا. And then he said to him, do not enter any morning or enter any evening while you have any animosity in your heart for another person. For Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever betrays people and cheats them and has hatred in his heart for others will not receive the scent of paradise. Fudail bin Iyadh's advice had such an impact on Harun al-Rashid that he kept crying. The wazir that brought Fudail bin Iyadh tugged him by the hand and pulled him out. He said, what you've done to Harun al-Rashid is something we haven't seen before. This advice of Fudail bin Iyadh, first and foremost, we see how he spoke this truth in the face of someone who was the most powerful possibly on the earth in that moment. But he spoke his truth, he spoke it. And when he spoke, his wisdom was loud and clear, it was powerful. Fudail bin Iyadh did not mince his words, and his advice was so profound that Harun al-Rashid actually changed policy because of the advice of Fudail bin Iyadh. That advice is with us all today. Save yourselves from the punishment. Fudail bin Iyadh, I'll share one more quick piece of advice he gave him. In that moment, he said to him, read the book of Allah. He said to Harun al-Rashid, read the book of Allah. For in the book of Allah, you will find the outcome of the people that obeyed him and those who disobeyed him. And you will see people in the world who are bent on disobeying Allah and they are running to the fire of hell. Do not be from those people. Be excited and greedy and desirous for Jannah. And be from the people who do good deeds. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to heed the advice of Fudail bin Iyadh. And also allow us to speak with courage in moments that we are given the chance to represent the deen and to speak the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us strength and give us wisdom and guidance. وصلى الله تعالى على سيدنا محمد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.